So that left us in a second and short, and we came out and ran this toss sweep, which we use outside zone blocking for. Um, this play got blown up in the backfield, but a big part of that was the decision that Malcolm Brown made. If we just back up here a second, kind of look at the blocking. Um, obviously the thing that pops out at you is this defensive end pushing Hopkins into the backfield. But what's supposed to happen on this play um, is Dominique Jones is supposed to come off the line and kind of either he takes this block or, which on the rules that we called, obviously what he should do is kind of chip this player and allow Hopkins to get in position. Jones kind of just stands up here, barely gets any of the defensive end, and Hopkins is struggling to get his helmet on the play side of this play. That's what he's supposed to do, is try to get his helmet on the outside of this defender. Brown is supposed to be reading this block on an outside zone blocking. So he's reading to see if he sees that helmet placement and whether we have the defensive end. If we do have the defensive end, then he's going to take this play to the outside. If we don't, then he's supposed to cut it inside of that defensive end. I think what makes this read difficult for him is the fact that the player's coming back toward him, so it's a harder read to get your eyes on. So in this situation, what Hopkins could do or should do is, rather than struggling to get his helmet play side, if he's losing a battle like that, what he wants to do is just ride this defender down the line. So don't try to get your helmet play side, but just go ahead and take the angle that you have, ride this defender straight down the line. And that's going to make a very clear read for Brown that I need to go inside of this block. So that being said, what you'd like to see is for Brown to cut this up inside. There's a beautiful hole in this play that's available, and that's the logic of outside zone, of using outside zone blocking rather than man blocking on a play like this, is that you might get other holes to open up by creating this sideways action. Let's take a look at the replay and kind of see what I'm talking about here. So you can see off the pitch, if we just go into this blocking a little bit more. What's happening here is, if you look at assignments across the line, Jones and Irby are going to come out here and try to cut in space to take out two of these linebackers. Hopkins is supposed to come over and reach this defensive end. Walters is supposed to help on this defensive tackle and then get to the second level and try to cut off any backside pursuit. And you'll notice, sort of the assignment that Walters and Espinoza have on this defensive tackle is basically the same assignment that Jones and Hopkins are supposed to have on this defensive end. Just look at the difference in the way that these guys handle their assignment compared to how these guys were trying to handle theirs. It's specifically what Walters does to help Espinoza as opposed to what Jones did with Hopkins. So as this is coming off, see, Walters gets a nice chip on this defender that allows Espinoza to get in position and create a seal. And that's what you want to do on this play. Outside zone is supposed to have a hard lateral action. Then you want to create traffic jams by reaching defenders. And so those traffic jams on this play are supposed to occur with the blocking the way it is, with Espinoza on this defensive tackle and with Hopkins on this defensive end. But what you can't see is a huge running lane that is available on this play. So part of the reason this went for a loss is because Malcolm Brown made the wrong read on this run. When he gets this ball, what you'd like to see is either right on this step when he gets the ball, it's for him to be cutting upfield. On this step, he could still cut upfield. Again, there's still great running room there. Even though there's a linebacker in the hole, he still has the advantage in that situation. So it's Malcolm Brown played primarily in a gap scheme in high school. He will learn to make those zone blocking reads. Hopkins, the other thing I guess I would just mention is we want to get to a point where we stop chasing our assignments when they're lost and instead just make the best block available to us. Espinoza is really great about that right now. Um, and it's something that Hopkins could improve on, and really all of our linemen can improve on. Usually, you don't see that type of play where they're making good decisions about their blocks like that until they're juniors or seniors. So the fact that Espinoza is so good at it as a freshman is really telling.